Hey guys, StarCraft here, and well, like I said, I'm continuing on with my Judge Dredd series of spotlights. This time, okay, I'm still not going to be going into doing the movie adaptation. That is tomorrow, but instead, I'm going to be going over Mars Attacks Judge Dredd. Actually, one second, I wanted something just to make a point. I'm back. Anyway. IDW would once in a while be doing what would be known as their cross-throughs. That's something that was coined by one of the writers back during Star Wars when they did this series of stories that went through their different titles, but it was more of a case of one happened in one thing, one happened there. They never met. It was just like a plot line that went right through it. They would usually do this stuff with like Infestation 1 and 2, X-Files, Conspiracy. And in this case, at one point, they did Mars Attacks IDW. And during this point then, they also would do a bunch of jokey covers as well, like Mars Attacks Stranger Things, or Mars Attacks Chew, or Madman, etc., etc. But at one point, they did a cover where it was from Greg Staples, like regular with Judge Dredd, what Mars Attacks Judge Dredd, and people loved it so much they decided, hey, why don't we do one? So, like I said in my thumbnail, it was such an awesome idea, they had to make a miniseries about it. Enter Al Ewing and John McCrea. Yep, John McCrea from The Deviations, who actually liked this. Granted, this only had a bit more of a personal stake into, for obvious reasons that I went in yesterday, but this it's still pretty dang fun. Now, the interesting thing about this one is, unlike all of the other crossovers, Batman, Alien, Predator, even Lobo, all of those are canon with the 2000 AD version. This, on the other hand, is canon with the IDW version. Yes, IDW did their own version. It was meant to try and get American interest with the Dredd movie, and again, how that went, I don't think it was that successful, but in its own right, though, it's still going on. Granted, it was usually maxi series instead of ongoing series, but this, well, funny thing is, Al Ewing, before he's been working at Marvel lately, he worked on 2000 AD. So this was a natural fit for him. And, well, let's just dive right in. Now, that's still Greg Staples' cover. Greg Staples, he's one of those really gets the look of Dredd down. In fact, the interesting fact of him, he played Dredd in the Judge Minty fan film. I mean, he didn't have the bulk or anything. He looked pretty slim, but most people say, hey, wait, that's Greg Staples. Never mind, sold. But anyway, we open up with a gathering of all the mafia bosses in Mega City 1. Apparently, this is an annual meeting where they all meet up and try to decide how things are going in the city. And one of which is Don Oogie Apollino. Yep. He's a monkey from another planet, I believe. Don Oogie Apollino, the meanest primate who flung his feces. And then, I should mention some of the other ones. You also have Don Schnozzle. Was that schnoz, really? Don Mumbletti. Betty, he mutters and all that. Don Travolta. Yes, and he makes a joke. You won't be staying alive after I don't overwork it. And Don Hoverbot 9000, a robot as well. And well, basically, they meet up with a young man, Krusty's his name, and he's constantly picking his nose. Turns out 5 years ago, Krusty's father decided all 5 of them would be able to keep things and to take care of everything. Why? Because Krusty, that useless stone bucket, forget about it. He's saying it while he's right there in the room. And then we find out that, well, Krusty's new associate took care of Apollino's men. Who is it? Why, it's one of the Martians, of course. And I love it. They play up with the old card games because that's how Mars Attacks got started. It wasn't a movie before that. It was a series of card games. Or just trading cards. And they play that up as a gag. And right there's the credits as well. And basically then of course, there's a typical bust with Dredd. Briar, this is Dredd, etc. And he's going into the pit, where he's been talking with the guy who became sector chief, basically telling like, I've seen the figures. Violent crime down 40% in the last quarter. Gang wars all but eliminated. Whatever you're doing, it's clearly working. Hey, that's the thing, Dredd. Much as I hate to admit it, that's not on me. Basically saying how the mobs have been starting to act a bit off, but it's causing things to go down. And of course, they're taking some of the benefits. As Dredd is then called away to come in and see with the situation, which ends up being at first a bit of a fight, but ended up more of the Martians. As Dredd starts blasting him, and I love it. Drop it, Creek. Translates to, like my space gun, human turd. Yeah, Dredd takes care of him very easily. As, Briar, breaking radio silence. We got mutant involvement. Mutant? You sure? Pretty sure. We're a long way in from the west wall. Farther than Shorty here can make it on his own. My guess is freak farming and racket. In other words, they have no idea they're Martians, of course. Okay, makes some sense, obviously. As he then eventually heads over and finds more of them with this giant, huge creature. I have no idea what it even is, but oh yeah, the thing in the pit, oh yeah, basically, but yeah, being attacked, and that's how we end the first issue. Now, actually, no, not yet, sorry. As Dredd, using a high X armor piercing, takes them out. Then he lays into the creature as it's about to eat him. That's where we end the issue. My bad, a little premature. We then cut around to other mega cities like East Mega 1, that's the Russian one, mega city. Britsit, Britain, Euro City, France, and the rest. Cuida, Barcalia, Antarctic City. Yeah, the Martians are taking over, usually using some scumbag who wants more, to help them undermine it. As we focus on Dredd. Actually, funny I see that. Look at this. This, and then this. I'm not saying Makira trace. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I like when I find parallel panels like that. As Dredd is continuing to fight off the thing until he takes it out. Blasting it to pieces with a high axe or high explosive. High axe! And then the backup shows up. Are you okay, Dredd? Peachy. You two, get this club locked down. Then grab the bug and Bughead and come with me. You want to take a shower first, Dredd? Because get used to it, Kudrow. Compared to the creep we're going to see, I'm smelling of roses. Again, I just love it. As then he comes up on Mumbles with gun in hand. And heads, you lose, creep. Dredd, what is this meeting of this? I have a heart condition. You need a heart for a heart condition, Mumbletti. And I'm saving my sympathy for the poor sap who died in the basement of your club when that thing ate him for a paying audience. Lawyer up, Mumbletti. You're gonna need it. And of course then, Judd Anderson shows up. Obviously Anderson's gonna show up in this. If there was one advantage to the IDW series of that, given how the 2000 AD version is constantly aging everything, technically Anderson's in her 60s and Dredd is, he's a lot older than that, but given how he's a clone, yeah, the movie got that right. The original movie, the Stolen movie got that right. Given how he's a clone, he's actually been genetically proven to age slowly. As he then starts to read Mumbletti's mind and find out about, the Martians. But of course, because Mumbletti doesn't know much about it, he ends up having to, and she has no idea what it is either. And unfortunately, the Martians seem to have a lot of psychic blocks as well. And then one of the science guys is looking over the weapons, stating how these are way advanced beyond even them. And, basically they shouldn't exist at all. As, basically they're deciding they have to go in and find out where they're going and all that. As again, Bloody still find out a bit more. All she can determine is that they have a whole lot, the skull faces that they call it, have a whole lot of face. Why and what? Hate for who? Take your pick. Humans, animals, anything that walk, crawls, or flies. This whole planet. And then we find out about Bloody. He's getting a cavity search. Yeah, basically. And then Dredd offers him compensation. Doesn't take it. Probably thinks it's been wired. As and one of the guys paying it. One of the other judges, just keeping an eye, listening out. Yep, turns out he has a wire. As hold on. But it turns out, yeah, one of the guys, Paulson, is we don't even know what he's saying. Like, just leave the envelope in the usual place. Okay, no idea what that's going on right at the moment. As they're listening on everything else when Mum Bloody shows up, but the Martian is able to, first he says, translation, make the ugly human be silent, short human. Because the thing is, Krusty believes he was given a means of understanding him. Not exactly. Yeah, but of course Dredd is starting to wonder now, and it's an associate I'm interested in, another of those mutants. If they are mutants, I'm starting to wonder. As Anderson tries to do another mind read again, but doesn't seem to figure anything out at the moment. As but of course the Martian saying shut him up. Of course he said, hey, shut him up like you told me to. Turns out though, yeah, he's basically saying he has a wire. Mum Bloody having no clue. He's like, whoop, whoop. And I was like, he's saying you're a mumbling rat. No, he is a human. You think of what? I know, basically Mum was like, you think of where the wire and where you find it. Show me this. Show me the wire. If you insist, wrinkly human. Blast him, killing him utterly, like in the movies and all that stuff. And there's the wire. Falls right down, ending the third issue. As we then open up with Schnitzel and Ippolito, the last two of the gang, because Travolta and the other guy were taken out earlier. But I love is like, Don Bloody, dead. If I wasn't smelling his charred corpse with my own nostrils, I wouldn't believe it. He was a great man, full of wisdom. I remember he used to say to me, Don Oogie, he'd say, then the rest was totally unintelligible. But you could tell that he meant every word. I just love it. It's just like the dark comedy of this. It's like, his killer's right there, and you're just mourning him right there as more of the Martians show up. They're freaking, they take out Schnitzel, leaving Ippolito left. Then Dredd comes right in and drop that primate, creeps. This is a raid. As they start attacking them, shooting them. Krusty then seems to shoot Dredd right in the head, but then the Martian's asking like, hey, I'm not human. What have you done? What have I done? I just X'd the great Judge Dredd, as is revealed. It wasn't Dredd he shot. It was another one of the Martians. Anderson shows up. She's pulling an illusion tactic, tricking her into shooting the other Martian and then mocking him for it. As Ippolito's about to be attacked, and it's like, hey, play the furry one. His hairy brain knows too much. Nuts. I don't suppose I could convince you Moose to let me go. Could be a lot of big bananas in it for you. I mean, I'm talking about money here, but I got access to fruit too. Capiche? Keep your hands in the air, furry human. And he uses his foot to grab one of the blasters and guns and shoots the other Martians. As one Martian is left stuck basically between Dredd and the others. It says we must activate the sphere. As and then Krusty is taken out. Turns out the sphere was within him. That's what was allowing him to translate it. Kaboom! Of course. The human collaborator will not talk legally empowered human, and neither will I. Mars forever, Earth never, as he commits suicide as well. Drock! But of course, having a psychic, Anderson's able to read what's left of Krusty's mind as he starts to figure things out. But going in on Steady or not, Smalls, here I come. None shall pass. Oh, really? Your psychic firewalls may have given me trouble before, but by now you've lost your shock value. Taking it out. As he makes his way through to Krusty and starts to get a bit more answers. And we find out that, just a second. I'm back. Anyway, she listens on Krusty, who basically, the alien person checks him with the translator. And of course says, "It's definitely not a bomb." These things, they're so stupid. As he basically then starts to, show off the weapon. Krusty didn't give much thought of it, but I love it. I love this. Of course, our own plans are meaningless compared to your petty human desires. Nice of you to say so, Pally. He's being sarcastic, you jerk. Unfortunately, because he's dying, she runs out of time as he, basically disintegrates. As we find out, so many of the different mob businesses and everything have been, have bombs and planted, the spheres and everything. As we then see all those different cities earlier, across the city, East Meg 1, Bridgeset, etc., all those spheres are exploding. Not only causing devastation, also taking out the sprayer, unfortunately. Yeah, it even says, "Look after my sector, Joe." Not only is it causing all sorts of destruction and damage, but it also knocks out all technology. Even the lawgivers won't work. Now, Apolino's weapon works just fine, but he hightails it out of there. As we end the penultimate issue with a whole bunch of attacks going on as everyone's trying to blast. Going into the final issue is hold on a second. I'm back, sorry, as we're finding out, of course, all those people who helped the Martians across the world on the other mega cities, they're getting backstabbed. As, again, Anderson and Dredd watch on. But then more Martians show up. Turns out though Dredd and Anderson have some of the Martians' tech as they blast them, leaving one guy. His first day in the job, and Dredd just kills him, of course. As they're then trying to figure out what to do, Apolino then shows up in a stolen gas-powered car, as he basically starts to make a deal. Well, first he said, "I was going to blow this pop stand," but then a little voice in the back of my head said this might be a chance to help out. Basically, then Dredd tells him, I'll take your cooperation into account at the sentencing stage, Apolino. "No way! I set the terms, Judgy. I want total amnesty on all past crimes, see? Anything I ever did, gone from the record. Otherwise, you get nicks from me." And Anderson, "I don't think we're going to get a better offer, Dredd." "I think this means it's a deal." They continue on. The Martians continue attacking. They're being blasted. And, basically, they're trying to figure out what to do as all the bridges, basically they decide the power tower uses a computerized magnetic field to keep the magma contained exactly 4 minutes and 40, but then points out the system's failing, which means right now things are about to, blow. As, and I love how Apolino's prayers. "Oh Tarzan, who art king of the jungle, hallowed be thy loincloth. Never took you for a religious ape, Apolino. Shut up, I'm praying here." As they make it to Sector House 301 and Drock, total carnage, and Anderson. "I'm reading one survivor, and Joe, but we should hurry." As they're basically asking him, the smart guy from earlier to do a problem. And "Thank goodness you rescued me, my boy. They murdered my whole research team and then forced me to play some kind of alien Sudoku. I was one imaginary number away from death. Any joy on that sphere of yours, Mayo?" And basically they're still trying to figure everything out as basically they're all, Anderson's taking him into the mental planescape. Wait, did I miss a page? Yeah, I missed a page. But basically they're trying to study it. Oh, the sphere is a living Martian brain. Then it turned out that's when they finally realized that's what they are. They're Martians. She takes Dredd inside and starts to read their minds, and well, basically they start to attack her, but she puts up her own defenses of her, and she says, "Get out of my head," and basically starts to explain everything. And hold on. Oh yeah, basically she keeps on going in, trying to figure out what's going on. That's all they're trying to do. But then once they, with all this link, they basically start to make everyone, they start to turn on each other, and they basically take each other out, causing all the ships to just explode, or start to explode, as or at least all the spheres to take each other out anyway. Control, this is Justice 1 calling. We're going back in the game and ready to engage hostiles. Roger that, Justice 1. In the name of the law, blow them away as they all start taking them out. Because without the spheres, yeah, they're pretty much helpless. As all the other mega cities soon start to take over. And then by the end of it all then, Ippolito's all happy and all that. It's like, so what now, Dreddy? Taking the fight to the Martians? That'll be our top priority. Right after I send you to the cubes. You can't arrest me. You gave me amnesty, remember? That was before you drove a gasoline-burning vehicle on a public highway in contravention of the anti-pollution code. A sentence for a pollution offense is at the arresting judge's discretion, usually around 30 days. In your case, though, I'm making it life. What? You can't do that. I got rights. Maybe on some other planet, Ippolito, but here, I am the law. Move. And thus it ends. It's crazy. It's insane. And yet, it fits Judge Dredd. I mean, as you'll see when we get to the Predator Alien crossovers, yeah, this might be the most insane of them all, but it's not that far off. So, yeah, tomorrow, this time I will get to the movie adaptation. Trust me, I do want to talk about it, if for no other reason. And the artist on it was the co-creator of Judge Dredd, Carlos Izquierdo, I believe is how you say his name. But yeah, John McCrea's artwork is fantastic. Al Ewing has the voice for Dredd in his own way. You can tell there's a bit difference from Wagner, and of course it's a different continuity anyway. So, which I just want to say I liked what the IDW comments. They put a bit more emphasis on the other mega cities as well. So, yeah, nothing much else. Yeah, I'm going to try and do Judge Dredd, the movie adaptation tomorrow. Other than that, anything else come up? Who knows? But take care.